So next in the pipeline is creative brief. Before I proceed, hello guys, I'm John. I'm a motion designer. I'm a creative director as well. I also handle creative direction for events and for performances. I was a professional dancer, not just was, but I still dance. Many of you, some of you know already. And yes, I participated in this Godak promo competition and I won the first prize of $1,000. Praise God for that. And I will be walking you through the process of how I created this. So you can watch the video another time. I'll break it down eventually. We are not entering the breakdown now. So let's just proceed with the creative brief. So creative brief is basically your source of truth. It is where all your information should be. So as a creative, two things you should have, not just is not just two, but this is what I'm saying right now. I'll add more things you should have eventually, but two things you should have: inspiration bank, and when you want to work on a project, a creative brief. Also, creative brief will be something that you share with your client. That look, this is the concept of this is what I want to work on for your project. Let me know if it is okay. So this is how you can reduce the amount of revisions you will have later by first drafting a creative brief and or storyboard. Sometimes necessary, sometimes it's necessary. Don't create a proper creative brief or a storyboard because of there was no time, even though the budget was really crazy. So the creative brief should detail this was it should detail the brand and creative positioning where you are talking about. You know what, I'll just share this a template, and then each part of the template will let you know what it should contain. But let me just speak very briefly. The brand and creative positioning should talk about what the brand is, what the product is, what you are building for. The creative positioning should talk about in general the tone of the video, the energy, what the video should contain, what you are speaking about in the video. Then other things. Basically, this part is an intro of the brand and of the video. It should contain more than this. Typography should talk about the text, the fonts that are used, what kind of fonts you use, where it is used, and all that. The color palette should, as you would imagine, it should talk about the colors that can be used for the brand, the colors that should be used in your video. So these are basically to maintain consistency and proper branding, brand alignment, image and visual elements. So this is where you want to determine what is constant in your video to just show that it is the same video throughout. Because some of you guys will use templates when you're working on client work. You use different templates. So you should adjust those templates to still match the brand, to still match the video. If not, it will look like different videos. So that's why this is also important when you are working with different, even with different creatives or you yourself, just so you will know what stays the same. For the Godak video, for example, if I were making that creative brief and I wanted to determine the image and visual elements part of it, I would I would include for the main characters or for the characters we are using metallic hands, this kind of material. So I would make it clear that that is what I'm going to use to illustrate characters. So that would be in the imagery and visual elements part of the creative brief. And then I would also make it clear that to illustrate the product, I will show it on a laptop to show that that is the main That's the primary platform it uses. I would also show it on a phone because of I observed that the brand has previously used a phone for their mockups before. So in that imagery and visual elements aspect of the creative brief, if I were doing it, I would put that all in here. Also talk about what I should use as the background, if there are any consistent backgrounds that I want to use, or any consistent character. That's what I would put here. Any style as well. If I'm using glass morphism, if I'm using neomorphism, if I'm using different design styles, if there's any specific design style I'm going to use, I would put it inside here. Music and sound design, this is where we talk about the the sounds, the music that are to be used. When you are creating a video, you don't just want to use any sound effects. When you're doing sound design, the sound should also match with the brand. So, for example, if I want to show an error message, and I were creating, oh yeah, like that app kit video is like another competition I participated in. The app kit video, I wanted to put error sound effects. I should not put that sounds like a game show. It didn't fit the brand. So I was using things that fit the brand and the audience. So for that, the sound effects that I used there was PC sound effects, things you can hear when using your laptop, because that is the audience I was directing that at were people that encountering the product on their laptop. It was DevRel basically. So the sound design, the music should also fit the brand and communicate to the audience properly. You detail all that in this aspect. And then in the style board, this is just where you put example videos of what's of how your final video can possibly look like. So this is both for you and for the client. This whole document is both for you and for the client. Each time you want to work on a project, determine the things that are constant. Determine the all of this. I don't like this, I like this. So when you're also doing the style board, when you are picking some things to use, you should specify what you like about each one. So for this video, the motion graphics, music and pacing, live action footage was used. See, yes, graphics, live action. So for each, you can also add more details than I did here. So for each video you are referencing here, you should explain what you want to take inspiration from in it. So yes, that's how I do my creative briefs. It's different for everybody. Is There are other ways of doing it. If there's any other person that does creative brief, please share with. So yes, I'll exchange information. So this is how I was doing creative briefs before. So there are different ways you can do it, but you have to find the cleanest way, the most organized way. And this is how I was doing storyboards as well before. But yeah, just find a method that works for you, and then use. I'll create like a template for this creative brief in case if this I want first. I'll send it as a template.